Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I'm going to be canning green beans. And green beans will need to be pressure cooked. You cannot water bath green beans because they're a non or a low acidic food. So you cannot water bath can those, they have to be pressure canned. So I got me a new pressure canner here and we're going to try that out tonight. This is the Presto Precise 17 quart digital pressure canner, and I've given this a run through once, so I know the procedures on how this is going to operate. So first we're going to get our jars warmed up, and I've got some pint jars here. I like the smaller size of these instead of the quarts. I know when I was a kid, Mom would make these. She'd use the quarts because there was 4 of us in the family, so that made more sense. But if you're making for a smaller batch, this is equivalent to about what you get in a can in the store. So this makes sense for me to have the smaller portions like this. I've got it plugged in and it should be flashing on the front to pressure can, and that's what it's doing here. And I'm going to go ahead and press this black button on the front and it's going to beep, and then the number on the front there is going to tell me how many minutes we're going to pressure can our green beans, and that's going to be 20 minutes. So I'm going to put that in right there, and then I'm going to give that another press. So now we should have an indication here to insert our jars, and I'm going to give that a visual check on that. That's exactly what that says. So I've got some water here. We're going to fill up our jars with water just a little bit. So in the pressure canner right now, I've got the plate that came with it, which is, I'll show the overhead. You can see that there. That's the plate that needs to be in the bottom of the canner. And then there's a line on the side of that, and I've got the water level up to that line. And now we're going to take our jars, and I'm going to take this water and I'm going to fill these up about halfway. Now I've got some wide mouth and I've got some regular mouth jars here, so you can use either one you like. Just going to put our wide mouth in there first. I'm going to start with those. Those for me are just easier to pack, but I wanted to show you both of them in the video today so you could use whichever one you wanted. So I've got an equal number of those here. Now you can get more of the regular mouth jars in the canner because you can see here that this one is not as wide as this one is. It's a little bit taller. So you can put more of those if you're running into space. That is the drawback to the digital canner that I could see so far from my other one, is it's not as big, so you have to use smaller batches, which is perfect for me because I like making the smaller batches of my recipes anyway. So I'm going to continue to fill these up, and I'm just going to fill the bottom of the canner up. My jars are in the canner now. I was able to get 4 of the wide mouth and 3 of the regular mouth in there, and I've got a couple more of regulars here for a later batch if I decide to make another batch of them. And I've got my green beans already snapped up here. I've got 2.5 pounds of those, and I've got another 3 pounds of green beans in the refrigerator that I can make another batch with. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put the assembly together. So here on the top of this is the sealing ring that comes with it, and it is the gasket that goes on it. I'm going to take the lid, and it shows install, remove, and lock. And there's a marking here on the side that we want to align that up in, and that'll be the install place here. So we're just going to kind of put that like that, and then give it a turn, and that'll kind of set it into place. So now here on the side, we've got another locking mechanism. We're going to drop that down, and I'm going to turn this to lock this into place. And then the regulator, you want to make sure you got the regulator off. Do not have the regulator on with this. We're just going to set this to the side, and now I'm going to press the little arrow button here, and that should say warming up my jars. So those are warming up. That'll take about 20 minutes for those to warm up, and at that point we'll go ahead and get everything else ready to go, because as soon as they come out, we'll be ready to start filling our jars. So I've got my beans snapped here. I've given those a good rinse, and those are ready to go. And I wanted to show you what that looked like if you've never snapped beans before. So this is our green bean, and you'll see here it's got the stem end on it, and then it's got the bloom end on this end. So what you want to do is just take it and just break off the stem end, and we want to break off the bloom end. And at that point, you want to break them up into about 1-inch spacings, and they just snap just as easy as that. And now you've got your beans ready to go. So I've got my green beans ready to go. I've got them washed. I've got those broken up, and they're sitting here ready to be canned. And there's 2 ways we can can those. We can either cold pack those or warm pack those. So cold packing means we're going to take our cold beans and we're going to put them in our jar, and we're going to put those in there cold. They'll be raw right in there, and then we'll put the water on it, seal them up, put them back in the pressure canner. That's cold packing. You won't be able to get as many beans in there because you can see they're really rigid where they are now. So with warm packing, we're going to put those in boiling water, and we're going to blanch those for 5 minutes. And we'll be able to get more beans into the jar than if we did the other version, the cold packing. So I'm going to be doing warm packing today. So I've got a pot of water here. I'm going to get ready to turn that on, and I'm going to get that up to a boil, and then I'm going to put my beans in it, and we're going to blanch those for 5 minutes. And then I've got another pot on the stove with some water in it, and I'm bringing that up to a boil. And once we get ready to pack our jars, we'll put the beans in there that we've blanched, and then we'll take that water that's hot, and we're going to pour that into the jars, leaving a 1-inch headspace. Now, if you've got ball jars, the 1-inch headspace is this bottom kind of band here on the bottom of this. So if you can kind of gauge that, I'm going to show you some other tools here in a minute of what 1-inch you can actually use to measure down to 1 inch. But this is kind of an eyeball here. So we want our food to come up here, and then we're going to put water in it up to here, and we'll put the lid on it, and then we'll put it back in the canner. So we're looking for a 1-inch headspace with our jars. So I'm going to let that water come up to a boil. I'm going to turn this on, and we're going to bring this up to a boil. We want our beans ready to go, because once we get those in there and blanched and we get the jars out of here, start packing, and this is going to go really quickly. All right, the water on the stove is hot now, and the water here that I'm getting ready to blanch these green beans is ready to go also. So I'm going to go ahead and take me a spoon of my beans. I'm just going to ladle some of the beans in. All right, so I've got my timer set now on my green beans, and I'm going to go ahead and unlock my pressure canner here by removing that, pulling up on the little green thing here on the side, and then we're going to turn that and release that just like that. And you want to make sure when you're pulling it away from, you see the steam in there, you don't want to get burned with that as it's coming off. So I'm going to go put this to the side. All right, my beans are ready to come out of there. It's been 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and I'm going to put those in another bowl here. All right, we can see that the beans have changed a little bit color. They've gotten a little bit darker there. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in the other half of my beans now and get those blanched. All right, while my second batch of my green beans are cooking now, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my jars, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to dump the water out in the sink that's in there. Now I've got a funnel on here to make this a little bit easier to load these, and I'm going to go ahead and put my green beans into the funnel. All right, now that I've got some of the beans in there, I'm just going to give those a tap so we can make sure we get as many in there as we can. So you can see how well that really dropped down just by doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it up the rest of the way. Other half of my beans are done. I'm going to go ahead and take those out. So I've got my green beans in the jar now, and I've got some canning and pickling salt. You can use whatever salt you like as long as it doesn't have any other ingredient on the label except for salt. Do not use the ones that have the caking agents or iodized. The only ingredient that you can put into your canning process is just plain salt, no other ingredient on the label. And we're going to put in a half a teaspoon. Now that's completely optional if you don't want to do that, but I like it in there. That's the way I was taught. My mother taught me to do it that way. So I've got my hot water here, and I've got a big ladle here, and I'm going to go ahead and ladle some of that hot water in there, and I'm looking for that 1-inch headspace at the top. Now I've got my 1-inch headspace at the top. Now I'm going to take this tool here. One side of the tool is to measure for headspace, and each one of these is 1/4 of an inch, so you can take it and you can put it down to where that is, and that'll give you right at where your inch of your headspace is at for that. Now we want to take this and we want to debubble this. We want to make sure we don't have any bubbles in there. You can see a few that's come up in that when I move that around. That will affect the headspace in there a little bit. If you have some air pockets in there and they don't get out of there, then it could drop that level down, and you won't have enough water in there, and you'll mess up your headspace on that. So I'm going to get my green beans packed back down in there again. And that's looking good that I've got that. And I don't see any more air pockets. There's a few bubbles coming up here on the side. I don't know if you can see those, but definitely want to make sure we get all of those out of there. Now to seal up our jar, I've got some white vinegar here and just a paper towel. I'm going to make sure I got one of these pot oils on there because this jar is really hot. And I want to clean that lid. You just want to make sure that is really clean. You don't want anything that's going to interfere with that lid at all. You might have got any salt on there that could keep it from sealing down. And that's just another opportunity to check to make sure that your jar doesn't have any cracks or chips in it. And now we're going to grab one of our lids, and I've got a tool here. This has got a little magnet on the end of it. And we're going to grab one of our lids. Now with my lids, Back in the day, you had to boil the lids. You don't do that anymore. I just brought these up just a little bit above room temperature, but you don't really have to do that if you want to. That's just something I do just to kind of help the process along. So I've got my lid on the top now, and I've got one of my rings. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down just like that until it stops turning. And then I'm going to take my pot holder here, and we want this fingertip tight. So what you want to do with that is just grab a hold of it, give it a little twist, and when it stops again, that's as far as you want to go with it. This goes back into the pressure canner, and we're going to grab another jar, and I will let you know how many we get. All right, I'm back, and I used all of my green beans up. I was able to get 5 pints in there, so that is now filled up, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my gasket is here on the top, and it is in place. And again, I'm looking for that mark here to line up with this mark here on the side. I've got that down and in place. I'm going to give that a turn until I can get this arm right here down and in place. Give that a turn until that lock. Now this is our regulator. We want to leave this off because like with any pressure canner, this one does the same thing. You need to vent this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started now on my next process here. And it says heat. So we want the regulator off. Everything's locked down and ready to go. This will start getting hot inside and our water temperature will start coming up, and you'll see steam coming out of here and over here on this side. Now there is a little spigot here that's going to pop up, and once that pops up, this is locked and you can open it again. So now I'm just going to wait for my next signal. It'll beep at me again to let me know that the water is heated up and it's getting ready to start venting. Once it vents, then I'll come back and we'll put the regulator on it. So I'll be back in just a minute. I am back, and the canner did heat up and it did start to vent, and it's showing here on the front that it just went to 5 minutes, so it's been venting for 5 minutes. I do not have the regulator on it. I still have that off. I'm waiting for my next indication for that to go off so that I can put that on. So this has been just really kind of nice, not having to worry about everything because the canner's doing it for you instead of having to do it manually as you would have to do it on the stovetop with another canner. So I'll come back and I'll show you when it's time to put this on. Okay, it just started beeping for me to put the regulator on, so I've got it here, and be careful with that because there is steam still coming out of that. And that just drops on just like that. I'm going to push the little white area here on the front to get that to start moving to the canning process, and that beeping will stop. Now, once it builds up enough pressure, the little valve here on the top is going to pop up and it will lock where you can't open that anymore. And once it builds up to the temperature where it's inside of it, the counter on the front will start counting down that 20 minutes for our processing time. And I come back and we'll move on to the next. I am back, and the canning timer just went off. It now says cool on it, so it is venting out the steam on the top. And we're going to wait for this to cool down now. It will let you know when it's time for the lid to come off, but it won't let you take it off before that because this little pin up here on the side is still up. And until it vents the pressure out and cools down enough for you to be able to get in there and get your jars out, we'll just have to sit and wait. So I'll be back and we'll take a look at it once it cools down. All right, my cooling timer is about to go off. It's showing 1 more minute here on the front of that. So it started counting down when it got to 10 minutes, and we should be able to open this lid here in just a second. The safety release valve on the side over here has gone down, so that will be ready to open up. So we will wait and see what this thing says once it gets through with that counter at 1 minute. All right, it is beeping now that it is done. All right, so I push the button here in the middle and the beeping stops, so it is ready to open up now. So I've got the clear opening of this over here. I'm going to take the regulator off just to make sure everything's looking good so far. We're going to release this here and raise this up, turn the lid, and we're going to open this away from us because we don't want any of that steam to hit us in the face. And we will see what we have. All right, I've got my jars in there now. I've just taken the lid off of it. I'm going to let it sit there for 5 minutes in the water just to kind of get acclimated to the air. I don't want to pull it out and shock it completely. So I'm going to let it sit there for 5 minutes, come back, and we'll take our jars out and I'll show you what we've got. All right, I've got my jars out of the canner now, and I've got my 5 here, and I see that 4 of them have already sealed with the dimple gone down, and I've still got 1 up. So we're just going to wait and let that one seal on its own. And we're going to let these sit out here for 12 to 24 hours so they can cool down. And then we'll come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. But in the process of this, while they're cooling down, these are extremely hot. Make sure you put these where prying hands won't touch them until they're cooling off, because you definitely don't want anybody to get burnt by touching these until they get cooled off. So put these somewhere on a rack that they can cool down and they won't be touched by anybody else in your household. And I'll come back and we'll talk about putting these on the can shelf. I am back and it's been 12 hours and I wanted to test my jars to make sure I've got good seals on those. So I've got some pretty green beans here. Those look really nice and the color on those is really good also. And when I did the hot packing on those, I was able to get a lot more beans in there than cold pack. So this is going to be a nice jar of beans here when I get ready to open those up and eat those. So what we want to do at this point is we want to take the bands off the top and we want to test the lid to make sure that we've got a good seal on those, and that is absolutely sealed on that. And here's my regular mouth jar that I've got here. That's got a good seal on the top of that from looking at the little dimple on the top. Again, that's one way to tell that you've got a seal on that when that little dimple on the top goes down, and I've got a good seal on that one. All right, I've got the bands off my jars now, and I've got good seals on the lids. And if you find one right now within that first 24 hours it's not sealed, that one is still good to eat. You can just take that one and cook that one that day or put it in the refrigerator with the band back on it, and you can eat that one. That one is still good. And the way you want to store these is you want to store these on the can shelf without the rings. And the reason we're doing that is if for some reason one of these lids comes loose and on your can shelf, it could introduce bacteria or mold into it, and we definitely don't want that. So if the ring was on it, it might create a false seal. And what I mean by that is there might be enough pressure on that ring to push that lid back down on there, and then your food would be contaminated at that point. So store your jars on the can shelf with the rings off. So far, I'm really liking this Presto 17 quart digital pressure canner, and my first impression on it is I like the hands-off approach that it is to it. So we'll be using that in some more videos in the future, and I look forward to trying that out with y'all and sharing that with you. And if you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, check out one of these other two videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have one of these digital canners, or if you're thinking about one. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.